Morning. Here we are at Harkaway Primary School. I'm Fiona Jackson.
This is Simone Randall.
And we're working in a multi-age Prep to Year 2 class, and we're going to be demonstrating some of our writing workshop work. So Simone will be leading by unpacking a seed and showing that process, and I will be modelling a mixed ability conference group. And hopefully you will be able to take some ideas back to your classroom.
So I can see some great shoes out on the floor here, but I'm going to show you these shoes. And you might look at them and go, why did she bring those ones in? But these are my shoes. They're a bit boring looking, aren't they?
I think you need to colour them.
And do you know what?
What?
Every time I wear them, my husband, he says, you're wearing those shoes again. He doesn't think they're very nice shoes either. But I love them. Can you see that I might have worn them a lot? Can you see that?
Yeah.
I have worn them a lot. Look, they're falling apart. And I'm so sad about that they're falling apart. I actually looked into whether I can get them fixed, and I can. Actually, last holidays I bought a new pair. Not quite the same, but almost the same. And I was thinking about these shoes. Oh, they're a bit smelly. I won't hold them close to my nose again. I was thinking about those shoes, and I started in my special seed book to think about them. And I have drawn a picture. Thank you. I've drawn a picture of my shoes, and I've written down a few things when I was thinking about my shoes. First, I wrote down that I bought these shoes in 2009 when I was about to go on a holiday to China. That's when I bought them.
And they still fit you?
Yeah, the good thing about being an adult is your foot doesn't really grow much anymore. For you guys, you grow out of your favourite shoes. But for me, I don't really grow out of them anymore. So that's kind of lucky, because 2009, I've got a few great mathematicians in this room. How long ago was that? That was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
14 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago. So they're old shoes. You weren't even born then. They are old shoes. I've written down here, not the best looking shoes, which I told you that, but super comfortable and my most worn shoes. I haven't got any other pairs of shoes that I've worn this much. I have written here, they remind me of happy times. And they have been to a lot of places. All around China, well, not all around China, but a lot of travelling around China, including the Great Wall of China. I wore them when I climbed the Great Wall of China, those shoes.
You went there?
Yes, I did go there. Wasn't I
What
lucky?
did it look like?
That's a whole nother story. I could do a seed about the Great Wall of China, couldn't I?
Yes.
Yes.
I do not know what that is.
Oh,
I
wow.
saw it on a picture.
Amazing. I've also worn them in San Francisco in America, in the United States of America. I wore them when I was on a holiday there.
You went
And I wrote this, nearly every state and territory of Australia.
Did you go to Disneyland?
I have on a different trip, yes, but when I was younger. Nearly every state and territory of Australia. And actually, as I wrote that, I went, actually, I think they have been to every single state and territory of Australia. But maybe not Tasmania, because I think I went in winter. And they're not really winter shoes, are they? They're not really
they're
winter
summer.
shoes. They are definitely summer shoes. So I wrote a quick thing there that they've probably done quite a lot of steps. Quite a lot of steps. If I was going to write about my shoes, I've given myself some great ideas here as a starting point. So this was my seed, my shoes, and this is some of my thinking about writing about my shoes. Sometimes you can write a descriptive piece about how things look, or you could write a piece about where they've been. And considering that you were all thinking about the Great Wall of China, maybe that would be my story about when they walked the Great Wall of China. That could be interesting. But what I can see in front of me at the moment is a whole lot of different looking shoes. I can see some pretty exciting shoes. Show me your shoes, Eleanor. They're pretty bright. Why do you love those shoes so much?
Because my mum bought them for my first game and training for basketball.
That's pretty special. That could be something you could use your shoes for, to write about that. Let me see. Josh, are they your shoes there in front of you? Or are you wearing your shoes?
These are my shoes.
All right. Yep. Are they your shoes, Ruben, in front? Can you tell me a little bit about those shoes? Because they remind me a bit about my shoes.
I wear them the most too.
You and I have got something similar about our shoes, haven't we? They both look like summertime shoes too, don't they? Have they been on great holidays?
Yes.
Yes? What do you think you could say about your shoes? Could you write about one of the holidays they've been on? Maybe? Yeah? What about your shoes, Louis? They look pretty cool. Love the colours.
They're pretty new.
They're pretty new? Yeah? And why did you bring those ones in, Louis?
I don't know.
You're not sure why they're your favourite?
But I like the colours, but it's not comfortable.
You know what? I've got a pair of shoes a bit similar to that, and they've taken a while to wear in. You might have to wear them more to make them get comfy.
That's what my mum said.
Yeah, sometimes shoes are like that. You have to wear them in, because I can tell you these weren't super comfy at the beginning. They were a little bit sore in the toes there. They rubbed a little bit, but now they are super comfy. Coco, did you bring in some shoes? Yep.
Bring these in,
Yep.
and I got them for my sister's dad, and these are my favourite. Just because they're pretty.
Yeah, I think you told me a bit about them. They've got love hearts on them. And you love the love hearts. Yeah. I can see that you've got a pair of Converse as well. In fact, there's a few pairs of Converse in here. Yeah. Why do you love your ones, Eliza?
I got them for my birthday this year, and the clouds are nice and fluffy.
They're fluffy, are they? Well, that's a bit. And if you were going to write about your shoes, what might you say about them? Okay, so you could do some describing about what they look like, because they've got a special feature on them. Yeah. Ruben? Anything else you're thinking about? Well, what we might do is send you off to start your seed, draw a picture of your favourite shoes. You might be wearing them today, you mightn't have bought them in, or you might have forgotten to bring them in, and that's okay, because I'm sure you'll remember what they look like. And let's get some ideas down. You might be writing some descriptive words about how they look. Eliza? You, Ruben, might be writing about where they've been and what they've done. You'll have to think about what you're going to say. You might be talking about how they're new and you like the colours, so you might do some describing about what they look like. And your basketball ones, they've got a special memory for you, haven't they? So you might be writing about some ideas, jotting some ideas down about that. Okay, I'm going to grab your seed books. A few people are going to work with Mrs. Jackson today to do some conferencing. So you might be called over for that.
So good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mrs. Jackson.
Look at your gorgeous faces. Hey, well done on bringing in your shoes. Put your hand up if you can remember my shoes. Can you tell me a little bit about my shoes?
They're high heels and they have snake skin.
They're high-heeled and they had snake skin, didn't they? Yeah, and I'm wearing a second favourite pair of shoes today because I knew you were bringing in your shoes. Yes?
And also they were your favourite.
They were my favourite. Can you remember the front? Can you remember the front of them? Yes? What was the front like? Can you remember?
No.
Because it was a little while ago. Can you remember?
Yeah, they had like a bit that like sort of dips down a bit and then comes back up.
I did, and they were cut out, weren't they? So you can see your toes, but not today. So when you go back to start drawing your shoes, you're going to really have a look at them and think about the special features on them. Have a chat, and I will be getting a little group of you together to sit at the conference table, and we're going to talk about your writing. So I won't be able to see everyone today, but then Mrs. Randall will see some more people tomorrow. And girls down the back. I'm really excited because I've read about someone who likes racing cars. I've read about somebody who likes poodles. I read about someone who's got a dog called Daisy. And I read about somebody else who's got a fabulous cat. So I found all these things out about you, and I've written a little post-it note which has got a little message for you, okay? So thank you for your great listening. Isn't there an amazing collection of shoes?
There is.
Yeah, I really
can't
like
wait.
these ones here. Who
Oh.
brought these blue shoes in?
They're Reuben's ones
They're your shoes.
that are
Rue.
comfy
Wow.
and warm like mine.
They look fantastic.
Didn't
So
notice
pop
it
your
was
hand up
nice.
if you know what to do now. You know what to do now. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. And then we'll just come round, have a bit of a chat with you, and then I will call a group to the conference table. Okay, so thanks for your great listening, and let's get started. Great. All right.
I can see you two are wearing your special shoes.
I am.
You are too? Great.
Show her name and colour.
Ah, so I'm just going to get you to reread your writing to me. Okay, start up at my favourite.
My favourite animal.
Ah, so that was just my bit of advice, is that you might want to add about the name and colour, but you might actually have more that you want to add to your description. Yeah.
I'm just
And,
saying it's a boy.
yeah. Ah, it's a boy called Charlie.
It's black.
Yeah. And what's the word that we use when we're talking about a boy dog?
Him?
Yeah, we often say it's a male. Have you heard that?
Oh yeah, male and female.
Yeah, male and female.
I
Perfect.
used to think a male was like a male in the little box.
Yeah.
Female was like a female in the little box. No.
Yeah, so you have done a great. I love this picture because that told me that it told me that there was curly hair. Absolutely. So it's
How are you
you've
going?
done a great job. So some other people are going to come
start-
after I've read your writing, or before I've read your writing, and that is purpose, I like, and then some advice.
They're not actually purple.
So do you know what advice is? What does that word advice mean?
It means like you're encouraging someone.
You're encouraging someone. Perfect. So it's like some hints, some little ideas to help you with your writing, okay? So what I'm going to do to get you to start off is you're just going to read my post-it note, and then I'm going to actually get you to read your writing out loud to the group. And Abby has already had a little conference with me, and she's going to talk to you about what we talked about in the conference. Okay, so there's your piece. And here's Eleanor's piece. Fantastic. And there's Hamish's picture. So Hamish, see if you can have a little read of my writing. I can see that you've got your... Yeah. And don't worry if you can't read all of the words, okay? Yeah. So the purpose is that first word, purpose. So the reason that you were doing your writing was to write a description about something you really... Yeah, because it's got my favourite, okay? So Abby, can you tell the other children in the group what you wrote about?
I wrote about my mum's mum and dad's toy poodle.
The toy poodle. And what's their toy poodle's name?
It's Charlie. And he's black.
And Charlie's black. Okay. So Abby's actually going to read her writing out to you, and have a listen, Hamish, to what you like and what advice you might give her. Okay. So see if you can keep that still in front of you. Good boy. Off you go, Abby. So good listening.
My favourite animal is tofu.
Bit louder.
Very energetic, and Mum's mum and dad have one. It is 3 months old. It is very cute and loud.
So very cute and loud. And what did I write on the post-it note?
Can you share her name and
Can you share the name and the colour? So just adding a bit more detail.
But it's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy, not a girl. I didn't realise, did I? And can you just show them the picture?
It's curly hair, that's why I've done that.
So I said in my I really like your picture. So I've given you a little bit of advice. Do you think that's a good idea? Have you got any advice that you would like to add to Abby? No, it's okay, don't worry about them. Is there anything she could do, you think, to add to her writing? No? Do you think it's pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Now we've got Hamish, and what was your favourite thing that you wrote about? What's that say? Car. So can you just show everyone your picture? And can you show Abby? Wow. Is there something you'd like to tell Hamish about his picture?
What's that? Those are pretty much like legs.
So it's a car that has legs. Yeah. Can I tell you something I like about your picture? I really like the way that you've got those fumes coming out the back of the car.
Yeah, I like the colours.
Yeah, I like the colours. And I love the way that you did. Yeah, the detail's good, isn't it? And I like the legs on your car as well. They look fantastic.
Is that a basketball hoop? Where? No, that's like a thing that you can like climb up, and there's ladders so you can get up because it's really high. Okay.
But once you do your writing, we'll know. Yeah, did you hear that? Sorry, I cut Abby off. Did you hear what Abby said? Can you tell him again?
Really good. I enjoy it.
Did you hear that? Yeah, what do you want to say?
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Girls, do you really like this car too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. So I think you'll have lots to write about. I think it's a great picture. So Eliza, can you read out your post-it note?
My favourite is Poppy. Eliza, your post-it note.
It's all right, doesn't matter.
Is Poppy. She is a caboodle. She doesn't like the ocean. She is crazy, athletic, lovely. Doesn't mind what she eats. She is brown. I play games with her. I jump up and down and jump side to side.
So with your last bit, Eliza, where you said I play games with her and I jump side to side, I could tell that your dog's very playful and lively. Yeah? And you told me about the colour. So did you hear what she was saying about her dog?
I can't remember.
Oh, I thought you might have made a connection, okay, because you've got your dog, your Charlie, and Eliza also has an energetic dog. Eliza, can you just read out your post-it note? Yeah, so what's your purpose? Yeah.
To disable your dog. I like all the different
So I think I like all the different descriptions you had, and then were there some words there that I wrote down that you might want to have a closer look at?
Read your writing. Tell us a bit more about what she looks like.
About what she looks like, yeah. So is that okay? What do you think, Abby? Do you think she could add a little bit more detail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when Eleanor reads, really focus and listen to what her writing says,
I
okay?
think the detail is really, the body parts look really good too.
Yeah, you like the picture? Yeah, great. Okay, so Eleanor's going to read. So Hamish, we have to be a respectful listener, and Eleanor's our last reader now, okay? Big loud voice.
She is so cute.
Listening.
She is so thankful.
And I heard you say the word grateful. I'm so grateful I have her. I thought that was a great word to use. Yeah. Have you got any advice for Eleanor?
I think next time, I like how you labelled it on the picture and said pet dog. But next time, I think you might have wanted to say my pet dog, our pet dog.
Our pet dog. All right, so there's a bit of advice, okay? And I think if you just add a little bit more detail to it. Have you got some ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got some ideas of what you can add to it? Oh, fantastic.
But that's still good.
Yeah, we think it's great, don't we? Yeah, and advice is just like little hints. So I'm actually going to get you kids to stay here and go and get your writing pencils, and then you're going to add your bit more detail. Does that sound good? Fabulous. All right.
Okay. So today we started with our little seed about shoes, and I had the example for the kids. They were quite excited to be talking about shoes after having worked with you, and you shared your shoes, and the kids were keen to write about it. We also made it a bit of fun making it Shoes Day Tuesday.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they were quite excited about it. So it was great to get them to get their shoes down in the book and get some ideas down. And it was really lovely seeing them at the end sharing, turning and talking with their person about what they had done today. And it also helped some of them that hadn't got their words down yet to think about what sort of words they might put in there.
Yeah. And I think too, the fact that you actually got them to bring the shoes in, it's actually having that physical object as well. So the longer term aim with the seeds is for children to actually use the language.
Yes.
And to own the seed.
Yes.
And we're striving to have a balance between teacher-generated seeds and seeds that children choose.
Yes.
Which, of course, supports agency.
Yes.
So the long-term aim is for the children to participate in Writer's Workshop, and the teacher is the bonus.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So they're actually self-regulating, talking about what their writing is, and we are following that framework of think, talk, draw, write.
Yes.
But that's interchangeable. They're not locked in steps.
I did love with the seeds, with the shoes, how there was different directions kids were thinking about.
Yeah.
Some thinking about first experience,
Yeah.
a memory,
Yeah.
just what they love about the shoes. It had some good potential to have a bit of their own.
And your questioning helped.
Yeah.
Timing of questioning is perfect, isn't it? Really.
Yes.
So that was really successful. So the next step of this will be that the children will write a description, and we'll have some model writing.
Yes.
For them to look at and talk about, and that's their next step. And we'll be discussing whether we are going to invite children to choose whether they take that next step or not.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so in that writing workshop session, I set up the Mixed Ability Conference group, and the children are just starting this process. So I was just getting them to notice my post-it note, which I would probably do prior to them coming to the conference in future. And then we just spoke about the post-it note, and the children actually read their writing out loud, and so the other children could hear. And then we just talked about how we could add to the writing, but that was after we shared the purpose and what we liked about the writing. And I think doing the what you like about the writing first is really important, so they hear that. And then we did discuss what advice is. And we've got more modelling and work to do around the mixed ability conferencing, particularly shifting the children to being the ones that give the advice.
Yes. Yes.
So that will happen more as the conference group actually share what we talked about.
Yes.
So one of those children from that group tomorrow would talk about what they did in the conference, and then what the advice was that they were given.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And how they were able to add to it.
That'd be great.
Okay.